Hello and welcome to today's video where we will be discussing the key to a strong and functional core after pregnancy. My name is Alicia and I'm a Girls Gone Strong coach and a pre and postnatal corrective exercise specialist, and I've helped hundreds of women regain their core strength after having babies. So what exercise am I talking about today? The connection breath. Some of you may be familiar with it, some of you, this may be new territory for some of you. Either way, I hope you find the information in this video useful. So don't forget to leave me your comments below because I'm super interested to know your thoughts. So what is the core? So the core ultimately is made up of a group of muscles that stabilize the pelvis and the spine. And in order for the area to be stabilized most efficiently, all of the muscles involved have to be able to work to their maximum potential. So what muscles are we talking about? We're talking about all the muscles of the pelvic floor, we're talking about the diaphragm, and we're talking about that kind of core area, so the multifidus, your transverse abdominals, and your internal obliques. And when all of those muscles work together to their maximum potential, and also as long as they're coordinated, then that is how we get that strong core and functional core that many of us are looking for. So as I mentioned, we have to really make sure that all the muscles in that abdominal canister are able to work to their maximum potential. And sometimes posture is going to be one thing that throws how these muscles work, is going to throw it off. And as we know, pregnancy throws off posture. We get thrown into that anterior tilt, our rib cage starts to flare, the curvature through the spine changes, and that's going to change how the pelvic floor works and how the diaphragm works. And as we know, the diaphragm and the pelvic floor are integral parts of that entire core, that core system. So it's really important that we focus on posture and alignment when we are wanting to get the most out of our core strength. So some things to consider before we start with the connection breath is how are we standing or how are we laying? And one thing I love to do is focus on that rib cage stacked over pelvis positioning. So whether you're standing, whether you're laying, thinking about not tucking under and not gripping down, but just finding that casual, comfy, mid-range spot where rib cage sits over hips. And there's a big difference between this and this. Okay, so we don't want to be gripping and forcing any pressure down. We just want to give a slight pull that rib cage forward slightly, bust over hips, and that should get you just in a nice, relaxed, comfortable, aligned position, which automatically will change how the diaphragm functions and how the pelvic floor functions. So now we have taken some of our posture and alignment into consideration. I really want you to visualize what's happening when we breathe. So when we inhale, the diaphragm goes down and the rib cage expands out. So imagine you're blowing up a balloon and it's filling up bottom, top and sides. So we inhale, my rib cage expands, my diaphragm goes down, and my pelvic floor goes down. And I want your chest, back and front and sides to expand out. When we exhale, the diaphragm goes up, the rib cage comes in, the pelvic floor goes back up to a resting position, chest, back and sides come in. So we inhale and we exhale. We inhale, we exhale, and you notice when I'm inhaling and exhaling, I'm not tilting through the pelvis, I'm not arching through the back. All that movement is happening really in that center part of that of the core. So the connection breath can be used in all different positions. You can try it seated, standing, balancing on one leg. You can try it laying on your back with your feet up, back with your legs down. You can try it in a a prone position, so on all fours. You can try it in a full plank position. I really encourage you to try it in all these positions because your body will respond differently depending on what angle you are at. And it's an amazing way to find those areas of opportunity, those weaknesses, and those areas that we want to improve. Laying on one side, you may find that you can really expand a rib cage, but on the other side, you may find that the rib cage doesn't expand very well. So explore all these positions, try the breathing in different positions, because if you do find any areas that are slightly weaker or have areas of opportunity, then that's your time to grow. That's your time to get stronger. That's your time to kind of investigate and figure out, oh, okay, well, maybe I'm finding this exercise really hard because I am just not balanced. I'm not breathing very well. And that has been the case for clients in the past. I really encourage you guys to try and work with a pelvic floor physio, because if there's any pelvic floor weakness or overactivity and over tightness, that can inhibit, again, your whole core strength and core function. So I really encourage you to investigate that as well. So I hope that was helpful. Please comment below with all the questions, and I will do everything I can to answer your questions. And I'd love to know, have you used the connection breath? Have you tried it in your training? Have you never tried it before but you want to try it now? Let me know your thoughts. Have you tried it on one side and it works really well but it doesn't really work well on the other side? Hit me with all the questions and I can't wait to hear how you guys use it. Thanks so much for tuning in.